Hi, again.
Good morning, ladies.
Get in the darn thing it is. I didn't switch that password the other day, so why can't I do it?
Yes, ma'am. 84. I was so happy. I've been studying since November 20th. Yay! I know. I'm so happy. 84. Oh my God. Oh,
You're ready.
that's one thing. I'm just ready to get off
Get
my
over
plate. Get that behind
It
me.
was
Yeah.
a 70
Oh.
and you needed to pass, right?
Yeah, I need 70. I've got 84. I think I'm
You'll be all right.
You did fine.
on.
Did you take the practice state or the practice
They
through
called it the
class?
mastery exam. I'm doing the Kaplan
Yeah.
studying.
Okay.
So there's one more that's a
Walk me through
conclusion.
right there. It's
And I don't know what that
somebody
is.
that
I'm hoping they say
right
this is what you need to concentrate on,
Well,
not.
it changes.
Oh, does
It's like the real estate exam. There's several different ones, so you never know what
it? You never
you're
know.
gonna get.
Yeah, that sums up the most state test.
Yeah.
anyway.
Like the real estate exam, I think there's 20 something different exams.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Well, we're not going there. Maybe ever.
There's several different
Sewer.
versions of the
Yeah. Oh,
insurance.
no. I know that's how they do it. Keep you on your toes.
Hello, and good morning.
Good morning.
Hope everyone is doing wonderfully today. All right, welcome back. I hope you guys got a lot of rest over the weekend and you are ready to roll.
That's what that be like.
All right, so you guys did some role playing on Friday. We went over quite a bit of information. After it all seeped in, did anyone think of any questions thus far on the information that we have gone over that you have for me first thing? Questions, comments, concerns, and or hostilities, keep those to yourself.
I was
You
ready to
have
roll for
hostilities,
me.
so
Hostilities. Oh my gosh, I know I'm just gonna pay close attention to my coworkers here when it comes to the stories. I mean, I have my couple of stories, and I did kind of talk to some friends this weekend, because we all do have some type of story to tell. And I was kind of surprised to think, no, we all just do GoFundMe and we all do a car wash. And I'm, oh my gosh, who are you people? But it is what it is.
Yes, your stories are going to be key. We'll sidebar anyone specifically. So write down any specifics, because there's a lot of you guys. Typically, it'd be a little easier to get one-on-one time and do more of a thorough breakdown with each story. But I do want to give you guys some time to get your questions asked and get your stories tweaked a little bit. So I will be more intentional about getting to you guys about some of your individual stuff, just to make sure you have them, because those are all really good situations or things that you're going to want to have a story around. Each of those are going to, when it comes to response blocking and just period, it's really good to have all of those stories. And again, if you're not good at telling stories, or if you don't have good stories, it's going to make your job a lot harder. So we will have some one-on-one, and I'll give some pointers, get some feedback from what you have so far, and give you some feedback, or get what you have and give some feedback on it.
Do you mind going on again? Sorry.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so mod 5. Prosperity, the product, building up to the approval. That is huge prior to Mod 5. Anything that you do up until Mod 5 is the sale. the policy being written. Past Mod 5, there's no going back and trying to fix and say, and anything that you do after Mod 5 is more presenting the actual congratulations and giving them the quotes. So any selling or saving or getting them to feel, all of that stuff would be prior to Mod 5. Now, as far as Mod 5 goes, benefits of prosperity, just from what we listened to on the video, why prosperity? Why is that something that you guys should be excited to present? Because be it prosperity or any other product, you want to make sure that you have them excited about being approved and that they have something. But why prosperity?
I think it is a super above and beyond quality product. I have a final expense policy, and it's nothing. You can't hold a candle to this. So from personal experience, yes, there's a death benefit, but what if I die in an accident? Let's double that. What if, for whatever reason, what was the other? I know there's another.
It's a few.
There's-
So we'll go
there's
around.
a
So
few,
the
but
accelerated.
Oh,
and
the accelerated,
accident,
yes. And, yes, and so comparing it to what I have, it's way above. I want it.
You can. I'll write you if you want me to. So yes, it is the accidental death and the accelerated death benefit are both really, really good benefits to prosperity. Accidental death, from the time they make their initial payment, that is available. So if anything happens to them that is an accident, their policy face amount will double, regardless of if they're level, graded, or modified. So we know with graded and modified, there are some stipulations to the payout for the first 2 years. You have your cheat sheet that will give you specifics, but you'll remember as you start presenting it more. With the graded policy, it's 30% the first year if they pass, 70% the second year if they pass of the face amount. But again, accidental, full face, doubled from day one. With the modified, 110% the first year if they pass due to non-accidental causes, and 230%. And this is percent of the the paid premiums. So anything that should have been paid in year one, they get 110% of that. If they make their first premium payment and they die in year one, it's anything that should have been paid, not anything that they have paid. Anything that should have been paid in year one is paid out at 110%. Anything that should have been paid out in year two is 230% of that. Tip, you want to give them you want to let them know what product it is they've been approved for when you go into the approval. I typically don't do a full breakdown of that unless they ask specifically, but it is good. If they do ask, share. If they don't ask, again, your call on that. I typically do not just disclose that, but it is in their paperwork that they get. They get all of that. That's kind of not so much the personal knowledge, but it is, you want to make it as easy and streamlined as possible. You don't want to get them overthinking or anything along those lines. So those are two very, very big benefits as far as how the payout goes for the non-level programs, but it's to your discretion. It is good stuff. I just usually don't go into it unless they ask. Another why prosperity. What did you pick up from the information that we got on Friday? You remember? Were you here? And you have a cheat sheet also, if that helps.
Well, I was looking at that for a question.
Oh.
I had a question. But let's see, like the living will, what's it called? The pamphlet that they get that they can write their final wishes.
Final wish, yes. The final wishes pre-planning guide.
Yes.
Yes. So that is good. That is something, because when you're presenting the product to them, you want to be able to speak to them directly. You want to know the features and benefits. If you want to highlight or just make bullet points for Mod 5 so that you can just talk to them, by the time you get to talking to clients, you should be very familiar with Mod 5. Maybe not have it memorized, but familiar with it enough to where you can talk to them. And even if you have to read the actual benefit, you still want to make them feel good about the product itself and get them excited about how it can benefit them. So any feature or benefit that will be beneficial to your client because of something that they've stated, you want to make sure you're making this a conversation and personal so that they can feel excited about, oh, hopefully I get it. You want to create that anticipation for this product that you're going to present to them.
So
Yes,
my
ma'am.
question was regarding what the riders, is
Mhm.
accelerated death benefit, like on the cheat sheet, it goes across all plans. But do they have to wait like 2 years for graded and modified plan to get the accelerated death benefit?
No.
It comes up right away too, like accidental? Okay.
Yes. Something else too, because with the accelerated, we want them to know that there's no additional monthly charge for that. So that is in there intentionally, and with the accidental, you do want to let them know that it does add a few dollars to their premium each month. But yes, good question on that. Remember with the accidental death past 74, we do not offer it because it falls off at 75. Also, California, the accelerated death benefit is not available. All right, Prosperity, Miss Hannah, why Prosperity?
Prosperity is a great company with over 100 years of combined experience between them and their parent companies and their other subsidiaries. And they are a company that is diabetic friendly. A lot of companies are not diabetic friendly.
Yes.
They are diabetic friendly, and they're also really friendly when it comes to your height and weight.
Okay, so yes, very diabetic friendly. That is something that you don't want. Again, we're building doubt throughout the process. Understanding that building doubt is huge because you don't want them to feel like they are so healthy they can get coverage anywhere from anyone. But something that you want to know for self is that they are very diabetic friendly. So when it comes to insulin, and even when you are after you've presented to them and congratulating them, if it is someone that is diabetic, then that is something that you can point out. So you wouldn't say that beforehand, before the approval or anything along those lines, but after a while you're congratulating them or anywhere throughout the product if they've been worried, because sometimes they have a lot of insulin and this and that. And so you want to let them know, I'm really glad we could get approved through Prosperity, especially for you. They are diabetic friendly, and I know that's something that you showed some concern with. That's something that you can also add in there. So yes, they are diabetic friendly. Their height and weight chart is they have one, but they're very lenient when it comes to height and weight, which is also a very good benefit. Miss Crystal, want to carry you with us? You good? Okay.
I'll be fine.
All right. All
I'm having a
right.
hard time waking up.
Karen, you know why Prosperity?
It was just there.
I do that to you. Huh? I do that to
I
you.
mean, I was like, okay, and it's not. Oh,
That's funny.
so I like that it's geared towards the population that's more like a fixed type income. It's not, we're gonna pull a credit check on you to make sure you can do this. So
Yes.
it makes it friendly to that and more approachable for that.
And that anything that we offer, we are big on making sure that it's geared to be able to be flexible and affordable. That is a big thing. Prosperity does go down to $1,500 worth of coverage up to $35,000. So that's something, we can find something for anyone to be able to afford, whether it is a huge amount or a little bit amount of coverage. We don't want the client to ever feel like, oh, it's just $1,500, because at the end of the day, you give a beneficiary $1,500. Do you want it or do you not? It is something that's going to help, especially when you have to come up with a large sum of money at a time where they're grieving and mourning and trying to figure out which way is up. Having even $1,500 is a lot compared to starting at zero. So make sure that when you present the amounts and you present the quotes, and you're not given the third option of something that's less than, it's still something. So you want to make sure that you present all of your quotes excited. Question?
No,
If it's, we're gonna keep going.
go ahead.
Okay. Miss Toy, why Prosperity?
Because they're able to keep it
well above the age of 100. Most whole life insurance policies, they'll either pay you the face value when you turn 100, but this one goes until 121.
121, that's beautiful. So, yeah, your whole life. I don't know anyone that's lived to 120 or 121. So yes, it is, you want to, and again, these are typical benefits of whole life insurance policies, good whole life insurance policies at least, but you want to present it like they have won the lottery by being approved by Prosperity. So all of these features and benefits, though it may be amongst other companies, you want them to feel special about the fact that you found them this, these are these benefits. You want that anticipation and that hope, and you've been building down and all of this. You want to make sure you're delivering these benefits as such so that when you move into the congratulations, it's something that they feel like they should be congratulated about. Question, Ms. Crystal, what okay?
Yeah, and I could just be delusional right now, but wasn't there one of the calls we were listening to where they said, let me check on a hardship? What was that about?
That's the quoting. If you provide them with 3 quote amounts and they don't pick either or any, then you would put them on hold and come back with a lower option. That's why when we do the quoting, we do a high, which is high, and it should maybe shock them a little bit, but you want to give them an option to go high. You want to pick a middle amount, which is a middle high, and then the low, you want it to be a high low, so that even if they pick a low option, it's still a decent amount of coverage. The premium is something that's decent, but if for whatever reason they cannot afford any of the 3 options you present, you still want to give yourself a little room to come back with that lowest option.
So they're not really getting a hardship.
We present it like that because if it's hard for them to be able to afford the low amount, then this would just be another option for them, which is less than what was presented. All right. I know you're itching, Mr. Hannah, but we're gonna try to get through today as smooth as possible because it is. I want you to. Okay, so that being said, keep in mind that the entire process is building. Don't get comfortable. I know we're learning and we have to get through all of the modules, but keep in mind when you are on your calls, this is a performance. You want to deliver this information and make sure that you are speaking directly to your client, making them feel everything that is intended with each mod. You're not just saying the words. So remember the intention behind every mod when you're delivering it. That was actually part of Andrew's meeting this morning for the team, is just being fresh and being present in every moment and delivering the information. You can't be off, or you can't just read it. This is a lot of information to just be reading. So you want to make sure that you're delivering it every time like it's your first and that they should be excited. You want it to speak to the client. That's one of the things that I made sure of when I was on the phone is every call is like a new call, and you want to hit the points, not because the call before didn't go good or you weren't able to close them or you're having a rough day or the person on the line. You should be pitching to them as if you knew that they would die tomorrow. If you knew someone was going to die tomorrow, how effective would you try to be in delivering this information to make sure that their family is protected? Because if they don't act today, then who knows what? And you never know. In all seriousness, it's a mindset, but it's a reality. You never know. So if you presenting this information could be the difference between them getting covered and not, this is literally your job, is to give them information that not everyone wants to hear or wants to talk about, but the process is set up to kind of unfold those layers and get them comfortable enough with you to be able to make the decision to protect their family. So be mindful of that as often as possible, every time the phone rings, because every phone call is an opportunity for you to help. Ms. Madison and Ms. Andrea, why Prosperity? If you guys want to shoot us something over, we're going to listen to a bit of a call. And then so we're going to be role playing all week until you guys get your appointments, and you should start getting your emails with the appointments from Prosperity sooner than later. Until then, you can't take calls. But we're going to be role playing. We want to be mindful. Keep in mind, so if I give a direction during role play, keep in mind, because while you're talking, you're mingling, this is just role playing, you are still working and you still want to be mindful and aware of what you're doing and why you're doing it. So on the calls, if for the role play purposes, we're spending 5 minutes in the report build, spend 5 minutes in report build, move on to the next mod. It's a lot of us in here, so we want to try to be we're not all ever going to finish at the same time, but we want to make sure that we're on top of it and being focused while you are doing the role plays, so that you guys are finishing somewhat in the same time frame, so that we can move through and you guys can get everything that you need out of the role plays, out of the training. We will do exercises within each role play so that you can start getting used to pulling quotes and the quoting logic, but please be mindful of how you're going through the role play. Don't get with each other and get comfortable and we're still working, we're still learning. So learn from each other, yes, but be on top of your script, and we're trying to get through it. We want you to read it, learn it, know it. Even when you're on your calls with your client, you don't want to get lost in rapport build, and then an hour later, they haven't talked about anything dealing with, you haven't gotten into mod 3, you're not doing the things that you need to do, because then they're so comfortable with you that they're going to be like, oh, we've been on the phone so long, I got to go, call me back. And you have not successfully completed the purpose of the mod or the call or help them at all. So it is a fine line between being able to build rapport and still having that alpha call control, because you don't want it to go all the way left. Because while you're thinking, oh, I got him, she's my friend, she likes me, if you're not still maintaining the purpose of the call, then you've spent an hour on a rapport build, and then now what? So be mindful of that, be aware of that. It is, again, you want to let them have it, but you still want to be able to reel it back in. You also want to, make sure you're becoming a friend, not a buddy, because friends, they will be able to take professional advice from, versus a buddy, then they just tell you anything, kind of listen to you, they're not really there. So be aware of that. Yes, price lock. Premium remains level. They have an easy application process that does not require a medical exam like larger plans. Perfect. Yep. So the simplified issue, anything that we deal with, Prosperity included, but it is simplified issue, which means they'll be able to get an underwriting decision before you get off the phone. We'll be able to let them know what they are approved for while you are on the phone. So that is huge. That is definitely a reason to want to talk to you, because you have some good information. Keep in mind also that even with laydowns, they come in, they're telling you they need coverage, they want this. Yes, do not get comfortable feeling like, oh, I got them, this is going to be an easy one, and take your foot off the pedal of the process. Stick to the process still, because at the end of the day, they like you, they need it, but you still want to make sure that they understand the purpose behind having it, and you do everything to make sure that even if they get it today, they're not just getting it today because they thought they wanted it, but they're keeping their policy. Also, you want to still sell yourself and present it in a way that, okay, I am your agent for life, so that I need coverage, they get something from you, they tie it down today, maybe because they kind of liked you, but then the other person that they talked to said the same thing, only better, and they could save $1. If you are the reason why they are purchasing this policy with you, they don't care about saving $1 each month, because they have found an agent for life. They trust you, you're professional, you know what's going on, you deliver the process in a way where they would want to deal with no one but you, because of the fact that you took them through the process and not just gave them a quote because they said, I want this amount of coverage, what do you have? Also, keep in mind, if they come on 25,000, they want 25,000. We're not going to just quote them 25,000 because that's what they're saying. If we know that that amount is not something they're going to be able to afford, because they've also been talking about how they barely have it, but they know they need this and they want to make their family rich and they want the kids to not have to worry about anything. That's not what these policies are for. So you don't want to build up anything behind that and get them excited or expecting that, when we know those are term policies. That's not whole life. These are for final expenses. They don't have to be used for that. But even if you can't afford to do this, that, and the third, at least you're not leaving your family with a bill. And hopefully we can get something, if we can find something that's affordable, you can have something left over, oh, that would be perfect. I know we want to do that, but you want to keep in mind that the whole goal is to get them something and not to give them an unrealistic expectation. So, the difference between term and whole life, you guys are aware of and familiar with
Yes.
term policies. It does not matter if they have a term policy or they have a whole life policy. You're not discussing any of that prior to mod. Anybody?
5.
3.
We got 5, we got a 3. Right in the middle of that is 4, before mod 4. So after you made them feel, because remember in mod 4 we're asking these questions, we're getting them to paint a picture, we're giving our stories, we're getting them to give their stories, we're building emotion, feeling. Before we leave mod 4, we're going to recap whatever they discussed, so I know you said you don't have any coverage in place, but I want to recap to make sure that I have all this in order. That statement's not true if they have coverage. So right before that, and it'll say in the script, discuss any other policies here. So if they have coverage already, they'll let you know before that point, and then you can say, okay, so I know you said that you have this, that, and the third. Ask the questions. Dig. How long have you had it? How much is it? How much is you paying for it? That way you know what you're up against when you're presenting in mod 5, when you're giving them the benefits of prosperity. You want to be able to, if they have a policy with work, a lot of those policies, they once you leave your job, they're not there, which is mod 2, permanent whole life. No, permanent whole life, price lock. Okay, so after you mention whole life and price lock, you talk about the fact that a lot of times people don't know that work policies or other things may go away, but with this, you have forever. So knowing what they have will help you to present what you are offering in a way that makes it meaningful to them. If they have a term policy, we know that term policies terminate. So even if that policy goes away, you know that you will always have this and it will be there forever. If they have a whole life policy that may need a little help on the side, you can present it in a way to where no matter what happens with that other policy, you have these funds available to either add to or whatever the case may be, but it's hard for you to present in mod 5. And there's always a reason for what we're offering, whether they have a policy, don't have a policy, have a big policy and need something to go alongside of it. There's always a reason to be able to present them with additional funds, even if it's just the gift of love. I know you talked about how much you love Nancy, Drew, and the crew, but and you have this in place. So if anything, this will just be a little gift of love to say that, oh, Nana thought about me before I passed, or to cover the cost of living rising, or it's a lot of reasons, but you have to be aware of those things, again, prior to presenting mod 5 and why we're hoping we can get them approved in mod 5. If they're telling you something and you're like, oh, great, and you're not actively response blocking, how can you present something? You've given me no reason why I need it. So that's why being actively listening and being able to speak to them, and even in your mind, finding a need where what you have can help them is going to help you, because if you're telling me all this wonderful stuff, but I already told you I don't need it, you have to give them a reason why this would be something good for them.
Got 48 hours.
48-hour payout is huge. So
That's the
even,
biggest thing right there, because it doesn't matter what size policy they have to wait until proof of death.
so you do have something for white prosperity. Look at you, it took you a little while, but you got
I
there.
haven't just for lunch.
Well, we need you to work on that for tomorrow. I need you to be ready,
It's the
okay?
lights. I don't adjust well.
Okay,
It's just
we're gonna find you some shades or something.
today it's struggling a little more.
Okay, so yes, the 48-hour payout, good job, Ms. Crystal. The 48-hour payout is big. So you tell them that at the beginning, but you also tell them that again before you move into the congratulations. So yes, huge. Even if it takes those other policies a while to come, or if they ever receive it, sometimes it does take weeks, months, or sometimes even years for those policies to pay out. You know that these funds will be available within 48 hours so that your family won't have to stress about how to come up with funds while waiting for other funds to arrive. So
Can I ask you, and I don't know if you know the answer, but I mean, God forbid somebody asks us, how are they able to pay out within 48 hours without a death
They
certificate?
do, so they do need proof of death. Anytime you're talking about life insurance, that is required. So within 48 hours of receiving that, is when it would be paid out. So you want to, again, you want to be aware of
But I
that,
mean,
but
like-
it's literally never been asked.
But I mean, like, is it different in the fact that Prosperity lets like a police report come through as a,
No, they do need proof of death. How many options, ways they receive that, I'm not sure, but they do need proof of death to do the 48-hour payout. But even still, many companies, once you provide that proof of death, it's still well beyond 48 hours for the funds to be received. So we're focusing more on the 48-hour aspect versus you have to tell them, yes, that's true, but we're not gonna
okay,
give
so
them
just,
all of that.
you know, if they push on that to clarify it's 48 hours after providing proof of death, not 48 hours after death.
Right. Never had anyone ask. So we, again, if you focus
It's a
on,
question I would ask, so that's what I was like.
and a lot of these people are not aware. So you're presenting all this information in ways that they'll receive it, yes, but you want to focus on the benefit of it and not the specifics or the details, because a lot of people don't even know these types of policies exist. Those are very good points. But unless they're shopping around and deep digging and they know about coverage, and they're not going to ask those questions. And I've never had that question asked. Good to know, yes, but it's not something we're going to rightfully disclose, because it's just more stuff with how it works versus what it does. And what it does is pay out within 48 hours.
They don't care how you died, just that you're dead. That's the short form. The long form is after they've done the autopsy and everything, and you get the
we're not-
official.
we're not-
Don't worry about that. We don't worry about that. We're just dead as dead. That's it.
Ms. Toy, did you have a question for us? Okay, you with us? Okay. All right. Yes. They're protected for life, yes. Large plans, no medical exam, Ms. Andrea, that is very important. The application approval process is very easy and they're protected for life. True, and more true. So good stuff. So what we will do is listen to a bit of a call. Just listen to the call. Anything that you take away, jot it down. If it's something on there that you feel is off process, take a note. We'll discuss it after we listen to a bit of this call, but we're gonna do a little call listening, and then we'll break, and then we'll go back into some role play stuff. Questions? No? Great. Ladies, let me know if the volume's off at all.
Final Expense Department, this is Angela.
Hey, Angela, this is Philip. I have Karen Telford on the line. I'm going to let you take it from here. Karen, an absolute pleasure. And as I said, you're in great hands with Angela. And I want to wish both of you ladies a very happy and safe holiday.
You too. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, Miss Karen. This is Angela in the Final Expense Department. How are you doing today?
Oh, okay, just kind of started.
Good. Well, I'm so glad to assist you with your quote today. And just so you know, this call may be recorded for quality and training purposes. Karen, to see if you are eligible for any of the 2020 state-approved final expense programs in Texas, I just need to ask a few quick medical questions to determine the level of coverage you qualify for. Now, I show your date of birth as 10/7/58. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. We'll get the 2 COVID questions knocked out first and then move into the traditional medical questions. So within the last 30 days, has a medical professional administered a test on you for coronavirus for which you tested positive, or for which results are not yet known, or recommended that you be tested but testing hasn't been done?
No, not at all.
Good. Within the last 30 days, have you been subject to a government mandated quarantine order or been advised by a medical professional to self-quarantine due to suspected coronavirus or exposure to someone who has been exposed or diagnosed with COVID?
No,
Okay, good. Now, have you currently or in the last 30 days been hospitalized, committed to a psychiatric facility, confined to a nursing facility, received hospice or home health care, been confined to a wheelchair due to a disease, or are you awaiting an organ transplant?
no,
Okay, good. Do you require human assistance or supervision with eating, dressing, toileting, transferring from bed to chair, walking, maintaining continence, or bathing?
no,
Okay, good. Within the past 12 months, have you been advised to have a diagnostic test, surgery, home health care, or hospitalization, which is not yet started, been completed, or for which results are unknown?
well, like, you're talking about a diagnostic test, what's that mean, what are you getting at?
Like a CAT scan or an MRI, just something that's not, you know.
I had a CAT scan, about a month ago, what do you call it, unneighborly neighbor? There's no neighbors anymore. She's not fit for being a neighbor, but anyway, she beat me and I went the next day to be sure I wasn't, fixed.
What? She beat you?
Yeah, they had black line, like, it was so swollen, anyway.
Oh.
One of those bad times.
Okay, but the test came back, like, it's okay, like, everything's okay, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so that's a no, because it says for which results are unknown, but if you got your results back, then that's a no. I'm glad that you're okay, my goodness. Did you press charges against her?
And she got 2 traumas into mine, and, let's see, Black Drive lawyer gave me, because I gave it to her for the security camera. She didn't let me have that back. Let's see, stole my iPhone, and then she, wouldn't pay for the, what do you call it, the whiskey that we went and got. I'm gonna put that down, but anyway, I'm getting the lawyer to write a letter to them within the next 10 days. They're gonna pay up, so just, all you can do is put all that stuff right next to my fence, you know.
Ooh. Oh, my goodness. Anyway, okay.
I live on a corner and she lives in, her driveway's on across from mine, and, with their camera, I decided, you know what, I'm not gonna be watched every time I leave the house, so I go to the back gate to go around.
Oh, my goodness.
Anyway.
Wow.
I know, you hear house stories, don't you?
I hear a lot of stories, yes, but this one is, like, unbelievable. I mean, it's just, my lawyer has a picture of my face, so I'm, just let everything be cool for a couple months, now it's time, So wait a second, you and your neighbor were friends, you guys went through a bottle of whiskey, or you had a couple of drinks, and then you guys, no?
I didn't, no, the husband wanted me to get it for him, since we were gonna go to the beer store, where it's at. And, I brought it back, and, then they were having some argument, and it sat in the car, and then he was over here, and sat on the porch, and says, "Where's my whiskey?" And then he opens his, unscrews the top, and then with his mouth, with his teeth, takes the little plastic thing off, and spits it out on my front porch, and starts drinking right out of the bottle like some, old-timey movie.
Wow.
I mean, it's pitiful. Anyway.
Oh, my goodness, wow. Well, I'm glad that you're okay.
Yeah, me too. I'm staying away from them.
Good. Okay, let's continue on with these questions. Let's see, used or been advised to use oxygen equipment for assistance in breathing?
No.
Had or been advised to have kidney dialysis?
Nope.
Have you ever been diagnosed or treated for AIDS or HIV?
No.
Have you ever been diagnosed or received treatment for Alzheimer's disease, dementia, Lou Gehrig's disease, or cirrhosis of the liver, stage C?
Nope.
Last one, have you ever been diagnosed with more than one occurrence of the same or different type of cancer, or are you receiving treatment for any cancer?
No.
Okay, great, Karen. I'm so glad you could answer no to all those questions. That's great news.
Hey, I try to stay healthy.
Good for you.
Eat well. Yeah,
Good. Okay, how tall are you, Karen?
5'30".
And about how much do you weigh?
171 yesterday.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for that. Now, Karen, these final expense programs have been approved by the state of Texas to help families against the rising costs of funeral expenses and final arrangements in general. So now that I know a little bit about your health, I'll be better equipped to help you with options, eligibility, cost, and level of benefits that you may qualify for. Now, because these are state-approved final expense plans, they are set up to work directly with banks and credit unions. So Karen, I don't need your personal information now, of course, but you do at least have an active savings or checking account set up at a physical bank or credit union, correct?
Yeah, right.
Okay, great. And that's not one of those prepaid cards or the government's benefit reloadables like NetSpend or Direct Express, right?
No.
Okay, great. And you are responsible for your own personal finances, correct?
Yep.
Okay, great. Do you have a pen and paper handy? Because I want to provide you with some of my important information.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. So it's Angela.
It is.
Yeah.
Good memory. So again, my name is Angela. My last name is Loftus, which is L like Lima, O like Oscar, F like Fox, T like Tango, U like Uniform, and S like Sierra. And my national producer number is 2158
But she said so.
321.
Okay.
And that number is really important, Karen, because it lets you know that I'm appointed and licensed by the state of Texas to talk with you about the state-regulated final expense life and burial protection programs in Texas.
Okay.
I'm not a telemarketer or an operator. I don't work for any one insurance company. I'm a state licensed agent that works for you.
Okay. And what's that
Okay.
number?
So that's my national producer number that I gave you. Did I give it to you? 215-8321?
Yes.
So that's like my national license number to be able to speak with you. That's kind of what it is.
Okay.
It's called a national producer number or an NPN number. So I'm a state licensed agent that works for you. So Karen, I know you're gonna need my help applying for these Texas regulated final expense plans. So I wanna tell you a little bit about them, how to apply, and then you can let me know what to do from there, okay?
Okay.
So a lot of people don't even know that these types of policies exist, and they're excited to find out how simple and affordable they are. Now, final expense benefits are small, affordable, permanent whole life insurance policies that are regulated by the state of Texas, and they're designed for people that are living on fixed or limited incomes like Social Security and disability. I've even had the honor of serving some of our disabled veterans. Even if you don't fall into those categories, Karen, these policies are designed so that any income level can have something affordable for their loved one's protection. These plans are permanent, which means once you have coverage in place, they can never change. These policies do pay out within 48 hours and will probably be the first money your loved ones will see when that time comes. So Karen, if we qualify today, I'll have a package mailed out to you in 3 to 5 days. That way you'll have everything that we talk about today in black and white, okay?
Okay.
So I've been doing this for a while, and my objective is to find you top tier benefits based on your age and your health. So I don't work for the insurance company, I work for you, and my role is to find you the absolute best solution out of everything that's available. Okay? If we can get you qualified, your benefits will be secured for your family by applying for them over the telephone without spending any money today. Okay?
Right.
And as a state licensed agent, it's my responsibility and probably the best part of my job to get to know you a little bit so that I can really determine the best possible company, the best plan, and of course, the best price available in Texas, even if you've been turned down before. So have you ever been denied coverage in the past, Karen?
Oh, no.
Okay, great.
Also, I will need you to quote my husband. He's, he won't probably qualify, but he, has dementia and he's 88 years old, and he is confined to a nursing facility.
Yeah, he won't qualify. I'm sorry.
So if I bring him home, will it work?
It's dementia, the dementia part. It's not about the nursing home. It's dementia. He won't qualify because of that.
And his age though, right?
Mhm.
88.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Does he have any coverage at all?
No, not at all. I had seen that, well, it was, when he worked at Sears Roebuck, in the old days, it was 100,000, and then as you get older, the price goes down. So.
It decreases. Right, you are correct. That's for a term policy. He had a term policy.
Yeah, and so when Kmart bought, then they decided, we'll just get rid of these old people and, so anyway, they let it go.
I'm so sorry to hear that. Is he, okay, wait a second. He's older than you, correct? By a lot.
Oh, yeah, 26 years.
Lord, okay. And
Yeah,
so,
Mom and Dad, that's the old days, so.
what did you say? I'm sorry.
Mom and Dad never told me about the old days stuff, what could happen.
Sure. Are your parents still alive or are they deceased?
Who?
Your parents, are they still alive or are they deceased?
Dad's 94, so he lives by himself and he, what's he do? He goes to the gym, drives his car, goes grocery shopping by himself.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah. The key is eating right, moderation, and exercise.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you have your dad, he's 94, he's healthy, he gets around, he eats well. You do not have your mom, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
My
94
brother, he's happy with him, a couple years older.
Okay, good. Now, is your husband in the nursing home full-time? He is, right?
Yeah, I didn't really know what dementia / Alzheimer's was.
Oh,
He
yeah.
hadn't got a book, but I didn't read any of it. And then, because here I am seeing him every day, I don't see anything except just getting older, and that's what happened,
Right.
But I would tell him, I don't want to do that no more. And that's hard.
Oh, yeah. Very, very hard on the caregivers.
Yeah, and nobody understands it. At all.
Oh, well, I understand because my grandmother had it. So it's extremely difficult for the caregivers.
Yeah, anyways, yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll take care of you today for sure, and I'm very happy to help you as much as I can, okay?
Yeah.
Now, Canton, are you like east of Dallas or east of Fort Worth?
It's about, hour.
Okay. I think, one of my best friend's mom lives in Tyler. Is that kind of by you?
Yeah, Tyler, that's east of us off of 64 from here.
Okay.
That's where I go to the doctor.
Okay. All right. Well, that makes sense. Okay. Very nice. I was just in Fort Worth last month. I love Texas. Texas is great. Are you born and raised? Are you a Texan?
Well, I would say I am, but I was 24 when I moved to Texas.
Oh, okay. Where were you born, Karen?
born in Shreveport.
Louisiana, okay.
Hmm.
And what did you move to Texas for?
Well, we got married, so,
Okay,
you know, yeah.
okay, wonderful. Now, what was that?
I never looked back.
Good for you, good for you. Now, how long have you been with your husband? How many years? How many?
38.
38. Congratulations on 38, that's a pretty big number. What's the secret?
I mean,
What's the
it's
secret?
a big thing, and, you know, he was from a divorced family, and my parents, they stick together thick and thin, you know. That's what you're supposed to do.
That is what you're supposed to do. Now, was your dad and mom from Louisiana? Like, is their entire family from Louisiana?
Yeah, never left.
Okay. Okay, now do you have siblings, like brothers and sisters that are still in Louisiana?
Well, this is my brother, yeah.
Okay, okay. All right, and where's your dad? Is he in Louisiana or is he with you?
No, he's in Freeport, that's all, he lives by himself.
Oh, that's awesome. Good for him. So who checks in on him? Does your brother check in on him and stuff like that?
Yeah, we're trying to put him on, we're trying to think about what we're gonna do. It's not running here yet, but I got some outdoor stuff I need to do. And then, you know, I wanna go over there and like clean the yard up and then, maybe go buy a couple of chickens or something and vegetables.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Chickens would be great.
I mean, that's the best thing to do, then.
Right, yeah.
I'm on Social Security, so I'm on a little bit limited, deal.
Yeah, you sound a little muffled. You sounded super clear a couple of minutes ago. I don't know.
Sorry, I get, well, I was eating something, yeah.
Oh, perfect. There you are. Now I can hear you. Perfect. So now Karen, do you, and what's your husband's name? I'm sorry, I never got his name.
David.
David, okay. Now, do you and David have grown children and grandbabies?
Yeah, we got 2 grandbabies, between us, and, well, I got one son.
Okay. Does he have any kids?
He has grown ones that are, yeah, 2 boys and a girl, granddaughter.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so your son, where's your son at with his do you have grandchildren? You have 2 from your son?
No, just one. I mean, yeah. No, he has 3 actually. I forgot about that.
Oh, okay. You have one son. Do you get to see them, or are they, where do they live? Are they in Texas?
I was thinking, yeah, they live in Denton, but you know, with the coronavirus going on, you know, I hadn't even seen my husband in 10 months.
Oh my God, you're kidding.
No, they wouldn't let me see him. You know, so, I mean, why drive 2.5 hours over there, you know, in the busy time? If there's something busy, I can make it in 2 hours, but I can't. He lives in town, so he can go visit his dad, you know?
Oh my gosh, so your husband's in Denton where your son is?
Yeah.
And that's a 2-hour drive?
Oh, yeah.
From
here, yeah. So it's just like, you know, Karen has to move on and take care of herself now, you know, and I'm in,
How long has he been in the nursing home, Karen?
Oh, let's see. Well, let's see, in 18, we moved there, I'm thinking like to March, April. In April, and then in October, from April to October, he broke his hip.
Oh gosh.
And so, yep, and there he had, the surgery, and then he, gets, admitted to the, you know, the nursing facility after the surgery, and then.
Oh, right, to do what, rehab?
Yeah, it's a nursing home. And, the deal is, it got infected, within 2 weeks. You know, I don't know, you know, I mean, it's not my fault, but anyway. So he had to have another surgery, and, you know, then, you know, his mind's not right, so it gets worse, and
I'm so sorry that you had to go through that and see the love of your life deteriorate. That's just horrible.
I know,
And then you don't get to see, and then you don't get to see him for 10 months. I mean, that's just like, it's cruel.
oh, I know, and I was gonna say, what, they've never offered to do a video chat, you know. I mean, I wanted to move them down here because the place down here, because of the COVID-19, even though you don't have it, but now, I mean, you know, he got it and,
Yeah, he got it?
Yep, he got it. It was from somebody that was wearing PPE. Now, how do you do that? I guess they weren't clean or something. That's what they told me.
Does he have it now, or did he already have it?
He has it now, and he's.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's fixing to be out of the unit, hopefully, because his signs are so much better.
Is he in the hospital?
No, I asked him when they called me, I said, is he going to the hospital? And, you know, he'd never even smoked or drank, and his heart was good. And, you know, and then he gets this, and listen to this one. So my daughter-in-law, she's a nurse, and she's in the heart catheter over there at Medical City, and do you know she got heart failure from the COVID-19?
Oh my God.
Yeah, and you know what? They turned themselves around and voted for Biden.
Oh my God.
They said, well,
That was awkward.
Now, wait a second. So how old is your daughter? How old is your daughter? In-law, how old is
well, yeah, she's 34.
she? She's got heart issues now because of that?
Never before. I guess it's from the stress is what I'm thinking. That's what I think.
How long did she have it? Did she have like high fever and did she have really bad symptoms?
I don't know, but she doesn't have, she didn't die yet, but what I'm saying is that she had like just low energy is what she had, for
Yeah.
sure. But Christopher, when he was, he hadn't gone back to work yet. And, he had the high fever. And I said, were you taking Tylenol to keep it down? No, I'm not taking Tylenol. I want the fever to eat up the antibodies of this disease. Well, okay.
Well, that doesn't sound right.
Well, anyway, maybe he was putting ice on his head, or maybe, you know, cool compresses, I don't know.
Your son and your daughter-in-law had it.
Right, and my husband, yeah. Anyway.
I'm so sorry you had to go through that.
Yeah.
I'm just so sorry. It's a lot. It's a lot to deal with. And you now, are living on your own, like trying to just keep it together?
Exactly. I'm still in Box City too, you know. I just came back in, well, Box City means in a bunch of boxes. I just moved in February back to the house.
Oh, you did? Oh. So you were living in Denton?
Yeah, for like 2 years. And I just, anyway, I was paying in a 2-bedroom apartment more than the house note, so.
Oh, geez. Yeah, well, then get out of that situation for sure. So, well, it's inspiring to hear how much your family means to you, and it sounds to me like, you know, you've got a growing family, you know, you've got a modern family, right, with David's kids and your kid and the grandkids and all of that, so you want to make sure that they're protected. I mean, I can see why getting final expense protection is an important decision to you, you know. There's a lot of uncertainty out there, and I certainly love my family, and making sure they're protected is very important to me too. So, you know, yeah, you're amazing, and you are a very strong woman to get through what you're going through right now. So don't ever forget that. You just keep on going.
I'm like the people across the street, yeah, I'm just gonna keep on going, I'm not even gonna look over there.
That's right, that's right. Well, I feel like I know you a little bit now, Karen, which is good. Because if we can get you approved, then you're stuck with me for life. So till death do us part, okay? Now, Karen, here's what I can tell you about these state-approved final expense programs in Texas. So as you probably know, taking a medical exam is usually mandatory to get the best plans and the lowest rates. But because these are special state-regulated programs in Texas, one of the best parts is there's no physical medical exam required, like with most larger policies, okay? So I just have a few basic health questions to really see if you qualify. All right, the first set of questions are what we call our knockout questions. This next set will determine the costs and level of benefits that you may be eligible for to truly see if we can get you approved and who we can get you approved through, okay? Now, they do check our answers against what's called the Medical Information Bureau, or MIB, which is an insurance database that records any questions you've ever answered, your prescription history, if you've ever applied for coverage in the past, or if you've gone to the hospital. So it is important that you answer these questions as openly and honestly as possible, because the more information I know about your health, the more benefits I may be able to get you qualified for, okay?
Sure.
Okay, here we go. Have you smoked any cigarettes in the past 12 months?
No.
Good for you. In the past 2 years, have you ever been diagnosed or received treatment for any of the following? The use of alcohol or drugs, or been advised to restrict the use of alcohol or drugs?
Say that again, the last part.
In the past 2 years, have you been diagnosed or received treatment for the use of alcohol or drugs, or been advised to restrict the use of alcohol or drugs?
Oh, that last part.
To restrict?
Yes.
So who told you to restrict the use of alcohol or drugs?
Well, see, I go to the pain doctor over in Tyler, and he told me that he wouldn't give me any more of my Norco. I take 2 a day usually, and that, anyway, that, you can't drink with those, so, well, see, it's all because of those people across the street. I was just fine before I got here, and then, they took those shots of whiskey, and I was drinking my beer, and then, it got out of hand. So what I'm saying is that, yeah, when you go and do your drug test at the doctor, so that he knows you've been taking them, or if there's any other things that, should pop up. So anyway, he wouldn't prescribe me my one that I was taking in the evening until yesterday. I got my new prescription, so I can have 2 back a day instead of just 1 a day.
But he was making a suggestion, right? Like he was saying,
He says, do not drink as much. And gosh, well, I was only drinking only because of, I needed it for my pain. And, if I've already had a overdose in, 17, and I took my medicine too early. And so I know what, it will happen if I drink and take, the medicine.
okay. So I'm gonna say no to that, because he just said, listen, he made a suggestion, right? Like, don't take this with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so and you're gonna say no to that then. All right, so then in the past 2 years, have you been diagnosed or received treatment for complications of diabetes, such as a diabetic coma or insulin shock, or have an amputation due to complications of any disease?
No.
Okay, in the past 2 years, have you been diagnosed or received treatment for heart attack, angina, chest pain, congestive heart failure, cardiomyopathy, stroke, transient ischemic attack, TIA, aneurysm, or have heart or circulatory surgery?
No.
In the past 3 years, have you been diagnosed, treated, or prescribed medication for internal cancer, including but not limited to malignant brain tumor, malignant melanoma, leukemia, or multiple myeloma?
No.
In the past 2 years, have you had more than one conviction for reckless driving or for driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs?
No.
Have you ever been diagnosed, treated, or prescribed medication for Parkinson's disease, systemic lupus, or sickle cell anemia?
No.
Cirrhosis of the liver, stage A or B, chronic hepatitis B or C, or other liver disorder, or kidney failure, or any other chronic kidney disease?
No.
COPD, which includes emphysema, black lung disease, or tuberculosis.
No.
Bipolar disorder or schizophrenia, or been hospitalized in the past 2 years for any mental or nervous disorder.
No.
Good. Lastly, do you know what medications you're currently taking, Karen, or do you need to go grab those really quick?
Well, I can tell you about, let's see. I didn't run down again. Let me think. High blood pressure pill.
So I need the
And then,
names, I need the exact names of everything.
Okay. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, let's start with, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. You can spell it for me because I can never pronounce any of them.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna set them up first. Oh, you all.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. I used to take the aspirin, but I don't take that anymore.
Okay.
There's, amlodipine.
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 That's for your heart, that's for your hypertension. How long have you been taking that, Karen?
Probably about 3 years.
Okay. And you've never been diagnosed with any heart issues, just the high blood pressure?
Right.
Okay, perfect.
And
Next,
then,
next one?
it's called Buspirone, it's anxiety,
Buspirone?
it's, BUSPIRONE.
Yep, okay. Your anxiety?
Yeah, I decided I'd start taking that again.
Okay, no problem.
So the next one was, Paco cream.
Okay, that's for your, muscle relaxant?
Right, it's okay, 2 milligrams.
Okay. You have bad back, or do you have arthritis, or?
Well, I have arthritis and back and neck and shoulder.
Okay, okay. Okay, next one.
Let's see, it's called gabapentin.
What do you take GABA, what do you take GABA for?
Well, the nerves, it settles the nerves down for pain. It's
Okay.
600 milligrams.
How many times a day do you take that? Just once?
33.
Take that 3 times a day?
Yeah.
Okay, now you don't have diabetes, do you?
No, not at all.
Okay. All right,
Let's
next one.
Next is hydrocodone. I take 2 of those. They're the 5.325.
Okay. Is that for your back, or are you in chronic pain?
Yes, I'm in chronic pain.
Okay, do you have fibromyalgia, or why are you in chronic pain?
Well, they told me, that I had that fibromyalgia. And you know what the answer the doctor said when I said that? He said, that's just a name that they give you when they don't know what's wrong with you. Oh, okay, great.
No.
I have, she gives me that feeling, that's what it is.
How long have you been in Chronic?
Their name, maybe, when they don't.
Oh.
She needs to find her in the bathroom. She on way too much pain meds.
I'm telling you, that's what they said, you gotta
If
have
I remember.
no alcohol, but none of that stuff.
So this is the perfect place for a break, because sometimes this happens when the calls aren't downloaded. I was trying to download it, but it didn't want to do that. Pure Cloud is, does what it wants to do sometimes. So far from this call, questions, comments, concerns, what did you guys pick up from the call?
I had a bunch of questions.
So we'll come to you last.
Dang.
No, what do you have for us, Krista, with the speed?
So like for the beating up battery, it said like or been completed diagnostic tests. So that is still a no.
So it's anything that the results are unknown on that question. In the last 12 months, have you had any diagnostics testing for which results are, you're awaiting results or anything is unknown? It's more so asking if you're still waiting back to hear about it.
Yeah,
It
she
should be
got
in
hers
bold.
back.
Yeah, she did it. It was, cause the people, remember, these are older people sometimes, so most of them have had some kind of test done in the last year. The question is just asking if anything is still waiting or you're in the process of doing a series of tests.
Okay.
Good catch.
And then did the advice not to mix the drug or alcohol count as a yes because it was for medication and not for like addiction?
Right, so that question is more so asking if you've been prescribed anything to stop you from using drugs or alcohol. That was just a professional suggestion. You're taking this medicine, you shouldn't be drinking with it.
Right. Does anxiety count as a mental or nervous disorder?
No, it's more asking specifically bipolar or schizophrenia or been hospitalized. If you were hospitalized for anxiety, then yes, that would be something of concern. But if you're just, you just have anxiety, then that's a different.
And my last question was it okay how she got into details about the stuff with the neighbor while still in module 1? Was that
No.
okay?
No, so that
That was
was,
my question.
yes, that was note to self, keep that in mind, but she hadn't even finished the knockouts and she hadn't asked about banking. So she could have spent 10 minutes or however long it was there and the client not be qualified. So yes, that was definitely a coaching opportunity and a takeaway. Keep in mind, bring it up once we go into report bill, but it was one of those she just couldn't not clearly.
It was.
Right.
I mean, I understand.
But that's a good point to bring up. But also keep in mind this, she had a lot going on. The client had a lot going on. And you want to reel them back in. Even in mod 2, when talking about it, it was hard for Angela. And she kept trying to get away from what the lady kept talking about, acknowledging it, but then trying to bring up the family. But the lady just kept wanting to, because clearly that's a big part of her life right now. Her husband's gone. All she has is her crazy neighbors. But no, you want to try to save that for mod 2, for sure.
Yeah, that was it.
Good job. All right, anyone else? Questions, comments, concerns to anything that you picked up from the call so far?
I mean, she seemed to be pretty much staying on script, except for mod 1 when it kind of got skewed. And
But then she
seemed to-
brought it back.
She
did bring
brought it back,
Mhm.
and I heard her bring it back in mod 2. She was bringing it back because that one would have gone on
Mhm.
and on,
Alpha call control and
and she
Angela's
pulled it
really
back
good.
in.
The casual confidence, even with getting her to go get the prescriptions. Nope, I need those. Go get them. Like that's just what we do. We're not stressing her. Can you please? Go ahead and get it. Well,
Mhm.
you're the professional, so you want to let them know what you need to have them do, and don't feel any type of way. Or I'm asking you these questions. This is what we do. It's part of the process. So you should be very confident in the process and deliver that to the client every time. Yes, good call.
Does she sign this woman up?
Mhm. The reason for me pulling this call was that she gave her a little bit of hassle on the back end, and we'll listen to it more, either after break or whenever I can get it downloaded, so we don't have to keep running into the issue of it filtering
Catching up.
or, yes, no. But, she gave her a bit of a rough time when it came to the account information or locking in the policy, and she built more rapport at the back end to be able to get it, but that is because the woman, they were speaking, but the rapport was a little bit off. It wasn't as,
You can
because all of
hear a
her,
little bit.
because it's harder, but you know, you still want to stay there. She kind of left out of it a little sooner than not, but she paid for it on the back end. She still did come around and build the rapport so that the lady could, but it's a lot easier if you do it in the front, because then the rest of the call is a lot easier. So yes. She did sign her up, but she did end up having to. So yeah, again, even with getting them to, because sometimes they can be honest, sometimes they can be too honest with you, sometimes they can be a little all over the place. Just remember, in those moments, still execute. What am I? Mod am I in? I'm in 2, build rapport, make them feel good. It was hard to make her feel good because she was all over the place, but had she been able to do that in Mod 2, it would have been a little easier on the back to get the account info stuff. So let's take a quick 10, and then we'll reconvene at 10 minutes after. Please be on time, ladies. Thank you. See y'all in 10 minutes. So.
I wanted to let you know. Maureen,
Yes.
I have a lot going on right now, girl, with all the studying in the back of my head. So my question to you, I thought it was kind of a coincidence on Friday that I had written down that your employee benefits, like the lady said, you know, after a while it just drops off, you get too old, or pretty soon you have next to nothing. And I can't remember where I saw it, but only like 2 or 3% of those employee benefits ever get paid out. Does that, like, I thought that might be kind of important to think, you know, all along you just think you have all this going on and you wake up one day and it's all gone.
So please don't be afraid to ask and make comments such as, because your stuff is very important to this process, because you're not, well, anything you say is useful, helpful, and not off task or target or, but that is a good conversation or a good point to bring up. I want to touch on it with them, because that's something that, especially if you have a client that is talking about their work.
Still working. I have all
Yeah.
the work.
So when you go into Mod 5, when you're bringing up whole life, price lock, and then a lot of people don't even know, that is a perfect time to bring that up, so that
That's what I
way.
wondered. When would I really, I thought it was valuable, but when would I really want
Insert
to
it.
use that maybe? So, yes, some folks
So,
are
yeah.
still working.
People that are still, you wanna go in, and sometimes even not, because sometimes my husband's working and blah, blah. So when you hear about them saying that you're not addressing it right there and just cutting them off, you sound really salesy when you do that, but when you bring it up in regards to the benefits specifically and you tie all that in because they said it, that's you response blocking that, literally, that concern without them even having,
Right.
no, I'm good with it.
Oh, because, you know, that's, to me, that's what I know I'm most successful when I'm comfortable with the information. So to me, and I don't know, I just think if I keep these little pearls, you know, out there, that's something that I can use for a particular situation. And actually, the part, and I'll probably say this later, but I like the part where she really said, she didn't just say, oh, Melissa, and away we go. She was like, no, this is my producer number. I thought she kind of took a minute. And I like that because I want to prove credibility.
Because you're not just saying these words. My one is
It's not like
introducing
I'm just
yourself and
somebody who
making
called you
sure.
on the phone today. I mean, I want you
You
to
wanna
know
get
that I
that
have
across.
the credentials to go with this.
Mhm.
I love you so much. I love your hair, honey.
Oh, thank you.
walk on those breaks. I hate that it's so cold outside.
Oh, is that, I know, the weather is so crazy.
I want to go out there and get sun and like stand
Yeah.
up, but it's weird just
It's just colder, I know, but it's good to like not sit here all day. You
Oh,
gotta
I
get up, move
can't.
around a little bit, and pretty soon you feel like, oh my God, I've been here
Think about
3 days.
I'm used to being on my feet 8-9 hours.
Yeah.
Right. And I used to
Oh, yeah, so now all of a sudden it's like hit the brakes.
a little bit, and
Yeah.
I don't really like these chairs.
Oh, you don't, oh, really? Oh, this is so much better than I've had in a long time.
I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm used to that. I like one of those big computer chairs at home. Like,
Yeah, oh, that's what I have at
$2,000
home
ones.
too,
Yeah, I
yeah.
bought it from, I got off Craigslist, girl.
Oh,
So it's like,
yeah.
I'm used to that one and things.
Uh-huh.
But I'm wondering, like, if I can't bring in my own chair, I'm asking if I can bring my own chair.
Oh,
Then I'll try to I'll try to get
maybe
one of
they
those things, like,
can,
'cause
oh, yes, for your back, oh, yeah.
Well,
you
either my
can
neck
know
and my
how.
back or my whole joints and bones, all that's jacked up, but especially my neck and my back from just all the car accidents and
Uh-huh.
on top of it,
I thought I
tomboy,
had a picture for you of the lemon drop martini I made, but I guess it was super delicious though, yeah.
yeah, I feel like some people want that, 'cause they don't want to drop shot, they want to like martini it up,
Oh,
you know, like,
yeah.
okay. Like, that's the thing with martinis, like, I feel like, so you want just vodka that's cold in a martini glass, if they don't want dirty, you know, like some that just
Yeah.
want, and I'm like, and you just, so you want a martini of just Grey Goose, no vermouth, no olive,
No.
no nothing.
Oh my gosh.
You get 'em.
just want a little vodka in a glass. Yeah, you're right.
It's
I
like,
love a dirty martini with the lemon, well, like the lemon rose, you know, and the whole thing, because it's just so good. But
I don't know how to make
So-
lemon rolls, but I can make a good dirty martini. I always get like shake it really, really, really good too. And then it's
Yes.
like they like the little ice chips. Like,
Yeah.
they little-
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
kind of like shake it,
You know what I
shake
put
it,
in
shake
mind?
it,
Oh, I
shake it.
hate that I didn't save that picture. Mango bubbles.
Yeah.
Mango vodka bubbles. Were floating in the, oh my God, I can't
What was
believe,
it?
oh, I
It
hate
was
that
a
I
martini?
didn't, it was the lemon drop martini.
And you put
I don't like as
mango
fat as I
bubbles?
I get them, they're so good, and then when you get them in your mouth, then they burst open, and they have vodka inside them. I have raspberry ones, and I have, raspberry and mango. They're so good, the first ones I ever got were raspberry, I think, and oh my God, they're just ridiculous, they're so good.
See what that looks like.
Wow, they're so good, and they floated, I thought that was cool, they actually floated in the
Oh,
tray.
I see.
Oh, see? Oh, here, oh my gosh.
That is
See the little jar on the side, that's the mango bubbles.
That is
See how they
cool.
float on the top?
Yeah.
So it has to be pretty.
Yeah.
Presentation is everything.
Yeah, you're a craft
Right,
costume
yes,
woman, for sure.
Absolutely.
Not me.
I'm gonna have to.
Hey, sometimes if I'm busy, it's like high volume and you want like a layered shot, like, you know,
Uh-huh.
I'm like, I'm just gonna shake this all up because I'm not taking the time to layer this.
Yeah, right.
It's still gonna taste good.
It'll still taste good, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have
I mean,
any
when it's layered too, it's not really pretty, but sometimes it does taste different because you're making like
Oh,
the way it's, it's still gonna taste good.
I know. Yeah,
So,
I know.
ladies,
I just
if you
like
could both set up a Zoom
Oh.
account. If you don't already have one, set up a Zoom account. I'm gonna send an email now. But while we're going through this next little set, if you guys could be doing that for me, please.
What is Zoom for?
Not you, sorry.
Thank you.
I get all things.
Just reminds her as a side way.
I know.
For me, you know, if I worked at home, it'd be great. Here. No, I don't like Zoom. Cause what if they don't like how I look? I'm not used to still.
Sometimes I feel like in person I'm better, but then sometimes I'm because some people could judge your looks. That's the thing. Like I got big lashes all over the face.
Right,
So you know, some people might.
and you don't want to be judged if you're too skinny, if you're too tall, if you're too heavy. You know what I mean? Those kind of things.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That part is true.
And Zoom does that. Zoom creates problems or any visual one, because it detracts from what you're trying to say to them, trying to figure it out, you know? And most people, especially this age group, they're not that savvy, most of them, into that much tech. And so this works so much better. And you're gonna hear whether I'm honest, speaking with, you know, listening to our voice.
What's the thing about that one? That actually was like some thing or something. It was seeing how like the way people look. It was like a study. It was like the way people look, people can decide do they want to trust them or not. So it showed like a random set of people, photos of, and it would be like a guy with blue eyes and blonde hair and like a suit, and they'd be like, yeah, I trust him. And it'd be like somebody like, you know, and it was actually like a thing. It was kind of interesting. It was an interesting study to watch.
Absolutely. I don't want to be judged based on that.
Yeah, you know, like, well, that's actually true. You know, if you're going to court, I say go to court, and you come cleaned up and you look nice. And you're like, oh, this is a standard person here in the street. Or you're coming a little crazy, pants that fall off, or, you know, just looking crazy. They're like, this look like you, and she's rough, like, you know.
All right. So we paused, well, the system decided to pause for us at the health questions. We are all aware that the health questions will determine what? Yes, so which one is the most expensive type of coverage?
Right, like, let's get money modified.
Graded is in the middle, level is the best. With modified, what are do they receive benefits from year one?
No.
Only if,
Accidental
Accidental, or they get the accelerated.
death benefit, no, they wouldn't get the death benefit right away.
Oh, I thought they did get the accelerated.
no, she's talking, yes, on that. And let me clarify too, because I know I reached out to them about that specifically,
It's
and I was
weird how
given
they
two
have it on
different
the
pieces of
chart.
information.
That's right.
So accidental was the question I was asking. They do get accidental from day one regardless of how death occurs. Yeah, after I gave you that yes, I remember that I got a yes once and I got a no once from Prosperity. And that's how
So they don't even know.
Right.
someone didn't know. So one of the two of them was wrong.
It's a 50-50
and
I mean, they might
So-
not ask, but it's just, I would like to know.
No. That is good to know because I did call because I think it was a trainee that asked me before, and I was like, that's a good question. So I got one answer, and then I got another answer. Yes, ma'am.
Well, why it makes logical sense to me is this.
We want to know for sure. So, cause
Okay.
it's a couple of different reasons, yes and no, but we want to be sure. So I'm gonna call them and get that. But go in your pamphlets. Okay, perfect. Go in your pamphlets or your binders to the scenarios, the role play scenarios. Page 36. Okay, perfect. Page 36. So in the next set of role plays, you guys should already know who you're going to be partnered with. What you are going to do is pick a scenario. You're gonna wanna work from top to bottom. So it's a total of 8 scenarios, but in the role play, you obviously would only pick one of the 2. So before you guys finish, you'll have 2 scenarios that you actually work through as far as the role play goes. But then after, you and your partner together can go through the next 8 or the next, I think, what is it, 8 total? The rest of them. If you do 2, then there will be 6 left over for you guys to talk through. Yeah, there's 8 total. So you're gonna actually do 2 of them throughout the role play, and then you're just gonna discuss how to answer or your answers for the remaining 6. Follow, everybody? Okay, so, the quote logic, you guys understand the meaning behind quote logic, correct? What's going to make you quote what and why? You good, Crystal, with the K? Are you on page 36? Okay,
I'm with you.
gotcha. Okay. So, go ahead.
But if we don't know numbers now for the role play.
Just an idea.
make it up.
Yeah, just an idea. And actually, in your pamphlet, in that prosperity guide that you guys have in the package, right before page 34, between pages 33 and 34, Ms. Madison, you have the soft copy on the
Oh, the new business?
yes. You have a soft copy, Ms. Andrea, in your binder after page 33, before page 34, the new Vista fact sheet. You can go through, and if you look at them, it's a lot easier if you. Ooh, Ms. Madison, let me send it to you. I'll send it to you, Ms. Madison, because I don't remember seeing it. Prosperity.
Okay, let's see.
So when you want us to role play, you want us to role play like I'm a non-smoker or disabled vet?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Just
So,
wanna
Ms.
clarify, that's what we're
Madison,
doing.
in that, I sent you a soft copy of the printout. So it would be for the scenarios, you have the page, and I'll resend it now, so that you'll have it, but it's a PDF version of the booklet, the binder. I've sent you a PDF version of the binder so you can get to the scenarios. But I'll also send it to you individually, and I'm gonna send you the new Vista fact sheet so you can scroll through. That one, we can really just kind of guesstimate, because once you have your rate calculator, this little fact sheet thing won't even matter. So, but to give you an idea, they have the level plan. If you open it up, it'll say New Vista rates per 1,000. And it'll give you the age and how much it is for each $1,000. Non-smoker versus smoker. Second page is the graded plan. New Vista rates per 1,000. Age, smoker versus non-smoker, male or female. It's a lot of calculations to be doing. So that's just something so you can look through to kind of get an idea of how it works. But when you're going through the calculator, just guesstimate roughly the amount of coverage that they may need and where you would do your price point. So if they're complaining about cost, maybe you want to do a $90, a $60, and a $40, or just to kind of get an idea of where your head is behind why you would pull what quotes. Once you guys have access to the portal, we'll do some where you can actually go in and pinpoint and kind of see what the rates are. But for now, it's just kind of trying to get your heads around where you would want to or what you would want to do in regards to rating them or quoting them, the high, middle, and above. All right? Yes, everybody is okay. So let me. So Miss Madison and Miss Andrea, you guys should have on that email who you are assigned to for your partners. If you guys can send them both a Zoom link, create a meeting for 11:30, which is in 9 minutes. If you can set up a meeting for 11:30 and send the link to the person that you've been assigned to in that email. Person assigned to said person that is away, you have your headset, and you also have your computer. So click on the link and join them via Zoom. Yes? You're with Madison?
I think I'm with Andrea.
Andrea. Who's with Madison? For role play number 2 on the email that you guys were sent on Friday. Toy.
Wait, what?
Okay, so let me.
Oh, wait, KB, Karen.
No, not me. I'm not KB.
KB would be Crystal.
Crystal.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what I was doing.
I am with.
It's
No
the
one
initials that
knows.
are throwing me.
No,
I'm
so there's a
with
cheat
Andrea.
sheet at the top.
I know, I was
Okay,
listening,
so
but
let me see, from number 2, nope, that's Crystal and Madison. So you, Crystal C, you are with Hannah. All right. We good?
I'm with Troy, right? This is like week 2, I was looking at last week.
Yeah, number
Oh, I was looking at week 3,
I was
that's why I
I was
was.
looking at Friday.
So number 2 on the role play breakdown, yes. Toy, you are with Miss Susan. Crystal, you are with Miss Madison, Miss Hannah, and Miss Other Crystal with a C, and Miss Andrea and Miss Karen. So if you could send your people, Miss Madison and Miss Andrea, send Miss Karen and Miss Crystal the links to the Zoom. Crystal and Karen, when you get the link, you'll go ahead and pick up or dial in, reach out, and then you guys just start your role play.
So
Your
is,
house with me.
who's who?
We'll go with column number 1 will be the agent first, and then column number 2 will be the agent second. You guys are fine with rapport building, like I said earlier today. Do not spend too much time in the rapport building. We're really trying to get through the concept of these. We will later on in the week have real-time role plays where you'll do the rapport build to its entirety. But right now we're trying to get you through the words, get comfortable with it. You guys will have no problem building rapport, so don't spend too much time there. Alpha call control, if your partner is just off task, bring them back in, reel them back in. We want to try to see realistically how to make it through these role plays. Jump over mod 7 because that's the application and you guys don't have access to that yet, but I do want you guys to read through the underwriting prep and the warm down. So we're going to go through the whole script. We'll go through the whole script. We won't switch sides after lunch, then you guys can do the other person will go. But for this one, we'll just go through at least one agent. The second agent will go after lunch, but we're gonna go from top to bottom. Once you guys get done, I'm gonna send you a link to the rest of the call so you guys can listen so we can all go to lunch and come back at the same time. So I'll try to figure this out and fight with PureCloud so you guys can have something to do until the rest of the group is finished with their, we're gonna go one full round through. Okay, questions? Ms. Madison, do you need did you find that binder PDF that I sent, or do you need me to resend it? I can resend it, that's not a problem, but if you have it, I won't. You have a question? You good, Ms. Hannah?
So what I was telling her about the headset has a specific number on it. And what I always do is take down the headset number and record it somewhere. Record.
Yes.
Madison, I will resend the binder link, but I'm not gonna bother with the PureCloud New Vista thing because it's just more stuff for you to click through that you don't need. Okay, you got it. I just resent it again too, so you'll have it 2 times. All right, so if you guys want to go ahead and get situated next to your partner, Toy, if you wanna come over to Miss Susan's desk. Y'all gonna be loud. Only because they're right there. You guys wanna go out?
Yeah, cause I'm loud.
Mhm.
Wow.
I'm kidding.
There was no hesitation, none.
So yes, if you ladies want to move, you see the same section you were in on Friday, you can go right back there.
That would be our front.
And remember, stay on task, you guys, so we can get through these in real time, or as close to real time as possible.
I'm very loud.
All right, did you guys get your links emailed to you as yet?
No. I'm still waiting for Andrea.
It's the
I
same
just
seats out there.
told them about that,
They
so.
got
Okay.
a professional.
I'll get there.
My
What's
first
up? But you
thought.
can
Run for your money.
Well, you know, I'm up to the task. Not my first
Okay,
rodeo.
so I can do it for one of the two of you ladies, since I have it set up, I just can't do it for both of you, so.
I get ready.
Ms.
Yes.
Andrea, if yours is
Right.
ready to roll,
So,
then I'll
this is
send the
what we
link
have
for
the medical stuff. I'm
Yeah,
gonna do.
Crystal.
Yes.
Okay. See, now I know what to do. I know so much better already.
No bag left behind. I got you.
Hi, this is Toy Harris, I'm the Final Consultant Department. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with today?
Joy, good morning. This is Susan. How are you?
I'm doing very well, Susan. I'm so glad to assist you with your quote today. And just so you know, this call may be recorded for
no
quality and training
problem.
purposes. To see if you're eligible for
So,
any of the
Ms.
2021
Madison
state
is
approved
with
final
Ms.
assistance
Crystal,
programs, I just needed, excuse me, I just need to ask a few quick medical questions to determine the level of coverage you qualify for. Now, I show your age is 58 and your date of birth is September 26, 1958. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay, great. And we'll get to the two COVID questions first, just to get them knocked out, and then we'll move into the traditional medical questions. Now, within the last 30 days, Ms. Susan has a medical professional administered a test on you for coronavirus, for which you tested positive or for which results are not yet known, or recommended that you be tested, but testing has not yet been done.
No.
Great. And within the last 30 days, have you been subject to a government mandated quarantine or isolation order, or been advised by a medical professional to self-quarantine due to suspected coronavirus or exposure to someone who has been exposed or diagnosed with coronavirus?
No.
Okay, wonderful. Now, have you currently or in the past 30 days been hospitalized, committed to a psychiatric facility, confined to a nursing facility, received hospice or home health care, been confined to a wheelchair due to a disease, or are you awaiting an organ transplant?
No.
Okay. And do you require human assistance or supervision with eating, dressing, toileting, transferring from bed to chair, walking, maintaining continence, or bathing?
All right, you should be good.
And within the past 12 months, have you been advised to have a diagnostic test other than an HIV test, surgery, home health care, or
Okay, you should be getting your
hospitalization which is
email
not
now
yet started,
to,
been completed, or for which results are unknown?
No.
Okay, wonderful. And within the past 12 months, have you used or been advised
Welcome,
to
no
use
problem.
oxygen equipment for assistance in breathing, excluding a CPAP machine or nebulizer?
No.
Wonderful. And in the past 12 months, have you had or been advised to have kidney dialysis?
No.
All right. Now, Ms. Susan, have you ever been diagnosed or treated for acquired immune deficiency syndrome and/or human immunodeficiency virus?
No.
Wonderful. And have you ever been diagnosed or received treatment for Alzheimer's disease, dementia, Lou Gehrig's disease, or cirrhosis of the liver stage C? All right. And have you ever been diagnosed with more than one occurrence of the same or different
I just
type
have
of
a number.
cancer? Or are you receiving
Phone number?
treatment for any form
Meeting
of
ID?
cancer?
No.
Andrea, send her the link too, please.
Now, I know it's a bit much, but we're almost done here. How tall are you, Ms.
You don't know it's
Susan?
a bit
5'4".
much. It's nothing.
All right, and I know this
She
was
sent
kind
me a
of
number.
Okay, that's not the news ID, but yeah, are you, I think you might, send me the link if you could, Andrea.
I'm so glad you can answer no to all of the knockout questions. That is great. So what I'd like to do is, of course, thank you.
It's
So
another way to
let's
get
into
to
this,
Zoom.com.
Now, these final expense
and then you can
programs
put
have
in
been
the
approved
ID
by the
number,
state of
but
Florida
she
to
should
help
get this.
families against the rising cost of funeral expenses and final arrangements in general. Now that I know a little bit about your health, I'll be better equipped to help you with options, eligibility, costs, and level of benefits you may qualify for. Now, because these are state-approved final expense plans, they are set up to work directly with banks and credit unions.
So if you go
Susan,
to
I don't need your
Zoom.us,
personal information
you can
now, of course.
also click on
However,
join a
you
meeting.
do at least
and put
have
in
an
that
active
meeting ID.
savings or checking account set up at a physical bank or credit union, correct?
Zoom.us.
Wonderful, wonderful. And just to make sure, it's not one of those prepaid cards or the government benefit
I
reloadable
download
cards
it?
like a
You
Netspend or
should
a
be able
Direct
to just
Express,
open
right?
it. Right.
Okay, perfect. And you are responsible for your own personal finances, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, wonderful.
Join the meeting.
Now, Miss Susan, can you do me a favor and grab paper and pen for me?
Sure.
Wonderful, thank you very much, and just let me know whenever you're ready.
I'm ready, go ahead.
Perfect, I just want to provide you with some very important information. Again, Miss Susan, my name is Toy, that's T as in Tango, O as in Oscar, I as in Igloo, and my last name is Harris, Harris. My national producer number is 19410922. And that number is very important because it lets you know that I am appointed and licensed by the state of Florida to talk with you about the state regulated final expense, life, and burial protection programs. I'm not a telemarketer nor an operator. I don't work for any one insurance company. I'm a state licensed agent that works specifically for you, okay?
Okay.
Wonderful. Now, Miss Susan, I know you're going to need my help applying for these Florida regulated final expense plans. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about them, how to apply, and you can just let me know what to do from there, okay? Wonderful. Now, a lot of people don't even know these types of policies exist, and they're very excited to find out how simple and affordable they are. Now, final expense benefits are small, affordable, permanent whole life insurance policies that are regulated by the state of Florida. They're designed for people living on fixed or limited income, like Social Security and disability. And I've even had the honor of serving some of our
Can you
disabled
send her
vets
the link
myself.
to the
Now, just
meeting and
remember,
not
even if you don't fall into any of these
meeting ID
categories,
she's
Ms.
using
Susan,
isn't working? Are you
these
able to
policies
send her a
are
link?
designed so that any income level can have something
Andrea?
affordable for their loved ones' protection.
Crystal,
These plans
you
are
got the link?
permanent, which means
Yeah, but
once
it
you have
says
coverage
please
in
wait for
place,
those
they can never
service meetings
change.
start new.
And these policies do pay out within 48 hours and will probably be the first money your loved ones will see when that time's coming. So, Miss Susan, if we get you qualified today, I'll have a package mailed out to you within about 3 to 5 days, and that way you have everything we talk about in black and white, okay?
Okay, perfect.
Wonderful. Now, just so you feel a little more comfortable, trust me, I've been doing this for a while, and my
So the meeting
objective is
started, what
simply
is
to
it?
find you
Okay.
the top tier benefits based on your
All right,
age
you
and your
guys should
health.
be on.
And again, remember, I don't work for the insurance company. I work for you. So my sole responsibility is to find you the absolute best solution out of everything that is available. And of course, if we can get you qualified, your benefits will be secured for you and your family by applying for them over the telephone today without spending any money, okay?
Okay.
Wonderful. Now, as a state licensed agent, it is my responsibility, actually, it's the best part of my job, to get to know a little bit about you so that I can determine the best possible company with the best plan and, of course, the best price available in Florida. Now, even if you've been turned down before, have you ever been turned down before? Or did I mention that?
No.
Okay, perfect. And how long have you been looking into life insurance, if you don't mind me asking?
Maybe the last 2 years, I think.
Oh, well, you know what? You couldn't have fallen into better hands. I'm so happy that I have the pleasure of speaking with you today. Now, let's just go ahead and get a little more information. How long have you lived in the beautiful state of Florida, Miss Susan?
About 12 years.
Oh, wow. So where are you originally from?
Kansas.
Oh,
I
yay.
know.
We're not in Kansas
Anymore,
anymore.
no, honey, we are not. The dog's gone, the neighbor's gone.
Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Well, what's your favorite thing about being down here in the lovely sunshine state of Florida?
Oh, to be close to the water.
I couldn't
So
agree more
nice.
with you. Couldn't agree more.
No, we're supposed to be doing scenario one, right?
Not
But you're
curiosity,
role
what brought
playing,
you down
but you're
here
just
12 years
whoever
ago?
the client is gonna use that information as their person
And it's fast.
or personality.
Yes.
You know what? I'm so glad you came here, and sometimes there's nothing like a
At the end of the
whole
day, you
change
guys
of
will go through
scenery
the
just
rest of
to
them
kind
just
of
talking
give you back
through.
that certain je ne sais quoi, they say, right?
That's right, exactly.
Yes, ma'am. So what do you do down here in Florida? Are you working? Are you retired? Disabled?
I am doing,
Miss Andrew, did you get my email?
I am working full-time, and I have been collecting Social Security for the last year and a half.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Wow. So I would ask if you're enjoying retirement, but technically,
Not yet.
yeah, exactly, because you're
Maybe
still
next
working.
year.
Okay, okay. All right. So out of curiosity, how does that work? Because I know
You should be getting that
sometimes
in a
I've spoken
second.
with
She
some of
just
my clients who
responded.
collect disability or like Social Security, but they're not allowed to work that many hours. And you're actually
Exactly.
working full time.
I am. Bless his heart, my supervisor lets me take Friday afternoons off because I can only work a certain amount of hours.
Ah, so there we go.
Right.
That is
So
an
yes,
amazing
we
thing.
have to tweak it just a little.
Well, look at you enjoying the best of both worlds. I can't wait to grow up a little bit more. Well,
Take your time. Take your time.
trust me, I'm definitely gonna take my time, but at the same time, you know, it doesn't hurt to just kind of dream about it. There you go.
Or to prepare for.
Or to prepare.
Because I did no preparation for it. I
Ah.
just arrived here one day, like I got off
That's
the
a
bus.
You know what?
So, yes.
Sometimes that's how it is, a day at a time. Yes, ma'am.
Ended there.
So what do you like to do with your free time since you get an early start on your weekends, having every Friday afternoon off?
Yes, well, I enjoy movies. I'm kind of a homebody. I like to cook. I love
You
to
know,
cook.
it says,
Yes.
yes,
Some
I heard
great
something the
stuff.
last
Oh my God.
year.
Have you ever, real quick.
Am I entering that to
Have
the
you ever
not
had, back in
or
the
is
day,
it meaning like after, not in the last 12 months,
used
but
to advertise to put
Right.
chicken
maybe
breast
What
burgers
30
on
or
that.
15 months ago?
What,
No,
are you
12
serious?
months, but
Yes.
it's asking
You take
you,
the
that's a
French onion
diagnostic
soup and
test
you
where
mix
you're
it into
waiting
your
back for
ground beef
results, so
mix
that's
and you
not a
mix it
knockout.
for a little bit.
It
and
don't
you
have
just-
to be surgery.
Oh,
You know what I
gosh,
did?
yes.
30
Two
days.
eggs.
No,
And
on
a
this
special
third
cream,
question, it says
and I
that
put
in the
that
past
together,
12
and then I
months.
put the soup in there.
For which results
So that
are
it starts to
unknown,
reconstitute.
which has not yet
Then I put
started,
ground
been
beef
completed,
in
or for which
And
results
let's
are
a
unknown.
little bit, to reconstitute. Oh my gosh, I have pictures. It's huge.
So that is
juicy
asking
burger.
if,
Did you
So
grow up or
it's-
did
she
you?
may need to hear this
It's
too.
good.
Hands on.
She can hear
They're
it.
still
I
good
just-
either
Oh,
way.
so
I didn't know why I started to talk.
Now, let's.
I'm so glad to be
So-
I'm not the only person who
Okay,
just knew
so-
that you could do that. with
Oh,
that
it's
soup.
asking about, I might not need to.
So
know.
good.
Trust me, I love to cook
For which
myself, so it
results,
seems like we have
for
something
which
in
has
common.
not yet
Yes,
started,
we'll
so
have
the
to
surgery
exchange
has
recipes
started and
later.
been.
Absolutely,
Not yet
absolutely,
started, or it
yes.
hasn't been completed,
So,
or
I
which
know you're
results are
divorced, so
Mhm.
just tell me a little bit, are you seeing anybody? Are you out
Yes.
dating?
Oh.
Oh, there we go, I can hear that glow in the phone, oh my
That's my
goodness.
Friday afternoon, girl.
I know that's right, say no more, I bet you have a great weekend every weekend.
Yes, every weekend, and we do get a jump start on.
Hey,
So,
that's
I
awesome.
love, I know, I tell Crystal all the time, but I love to make
Were you
drinks.
able to hear
But they
everything
have
else?
to be pretty.
Yes.
It can't,
I'm
you
all
know,
about
it
this
can't be,
stuff.
She
yes.
did it though?
It has to be a presentation. It can't just be from something class. Oh my God. Oh, I'm so excited.
No, I completely agree with you. When I was in college, I put myself, through my first year bartending, and it was
Right
really
down.
nice.
You should learn some good stuff.
Oh my goodness, I learned some really good stuff, and I even created some amazing drinks myself.
That is a lemon drop martini, and that is mango vodka bubbles. And see how they float on top of the drink, and I have sugar on the rim, of course, and a little lemon.
I'm going to your house on Friday
I know,
afternoon.
Friday afternoon, so we'll be drinking.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Sounds
So yes, it has to be
amazing.
pretty. It has to be
Yes.
pretty.
So your favorite thing would be making beautiful drinks.
Yes,
Yes.
and having fabulous meals to go along with it.
Absolutely. I mean, what's a drink without something on your stomach?
I
Because then you can't enjoy the drink.
Right.
So
That
I
makes it
get
so
it.
brief.
Yes, yes. So out of curiosity, have any children, any grandchildren?
I have 2 children. I have a son and a daughter.
Oh.
My son just retired, 22 years Marine Corps Master Sergeant. I just love his state.
Oh, well,
Just
thank you
so
for
good.
having him, and you let him know I
I
thank
know.
him personally for his service.
Yes, I
That
will.
is amazing.
So, 2 children, 6 granddaughters, and 2 great grandsons. And another, my
There she
third
is, the
great
second
grandchild will be
day.
able to
Da-da-da-da.
born in July. We're expecting her in July. They have the whole,
The big rig
things are so different now. When I was pregnant, we were just surprised. Oh, I don't know, boy. Oh, it's a boy.
Right,
But
I
they
can
had the
tell you.
reveal, what they do.
Oh,
The whole thing.
goodness.
So now we know we're having a girl.
You
See
know,
what this
my
is?
first 2 pregnancies, because I have 3 children myself. My son is 19, my middle daughter, she's 14, and then shockingly, I hope you're ready for this, I've got a 2-year-old.
How fun is that?
Yeah, very fun, actually.
Yeah.
I gotta admit, she brings a lot of joy back into the
Uh-huh.
house. But with my son, I wanted to know so bad. I literally had 7 ultrasounds, and the baby was so big they couldn't see.
Oh my gosh,
It
wow.
wasn't until I delivered him, we were like, oh,
So
no, it's a
just
boy.
make a boy. Now we know.
Yes,
So we had none of those things back in the day.
yes.
Back in the day.
But with
You
both of
can
the
hear?
girls,
Mm-hmm.
as soon as we got the first ultrasounds, immediately it was like, oh, yep, we see the camera.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yes,
Look
yes.
at you.
So I see that you've
Are
got
you
a
unmuted?
beautiful big
Are you
family.
muted?
Like, that's amazing, and you get to spend your time on the weekends making good food, making pretty drinks,
Yes.
hanging out with your
Do you hear her background noise at all? No background?
So I can definitely see why getting family expense protection is an important decision to you. And I certainly love my family and making sure their protection, you know, is very important to me too. So, oh my goodness, Miss Susan, you're just so amazing. Like, I really feel like I truly know you, which is really good because if we can get you approved, you're gonna be kind of stuck with me for life, like good food and good drinks. Whenever you make a nice dish, just give the toy. You can call me right
She
up.
can't hear you, no.
Till death do us part.
Okay, she can't hear you.
Yes, ma'am. So here's what I can tell you about the state-approved final expense programs here in Florida. Now, as you probably know, taking a medical exam is usually mandatory to get the best